Howdy folks, Sapper here, aka Sean, and we're bringing you turn 8 of Main Battle Tank. It is the 3rd Armor versus 28th Tank Regiment. We have just conducted the fire phase. Alright, so the NATO guys, they got first attack. They won the initiative and they got to go first. So right here we have this Bradley here. He fired at this tank that did the push last time and he missed, but luckily this immobilized Bradley over here, he was able to save the day and got a KO hit. So this guy's definitely, he's knocked out. So it looks like the yellow platoon for the Soviets is not a thing anymore. We've got this guy over here. He's the only one left, but he's immobilized, so he's really not able to do a whole lot. You can see he did fire at this Bradley here, and he had a 63% chance and missed. So he missed. Of course, this Bradley is also immobilized, so basically we've got a couple immobile vehicles. And actually, you know what? This one, that one over there, he's immobilized. So we got a lot of immobilized stuff that's still, still in the fight. Now, in real life, a little bit different. How long you're going to stay there. But I guess as long as you're effective, you would continue to stay. Let's see, what else do we have? Can we see what's going on with that? Oh, we've got this going on here. So he, in turn, or on his turn, he fired over at this group of tanks, and there was a miss. Let me see, yeah, it's 2 tanks. So there's 2 tanks there. One of them used his overwatch fire to return fire, and of course missed. So that Bradley happens to be in light woods, so that definitely is helping him out, the fact that he is in the light woods. And then we've got way over here on this side, we've got that pesky Hind helicopter. I had to think for a minute. So the Hind helicopter has 1 missile left. Fired at that Abrams tank and was able to score a hit. Luckily for the Abrams, it was a track hit. So unfortunately, he's immobilized, but he's still in the fight. He returned fire with his 50 cal machine gun and was unable to hit that Hind helicopter. But the Hind is out of anti-tank guided missiles. Of course, the Allies don't know that, or they wouldn't know that in real life. The Hind is out of missiles, so he's definitely not going to be nearly as effective as what he was. He does have rocket pods, and I'm going to have to look and see how effective the rocket pods are going to be. I don't think they're going to be too effective against the tanks. They'll definitely work against infantry, and they may work against the Bradleys, because the Bradleys don't have nearly the armor. So let's just take a look here. So it does have rockets. Yeah, they're general purpose weapons. Let me see, the 30mm gun. Let's see here. All right, let's look here. So you got the 30mm gun, which has a penetration value at point blank range of 12. It would be a falling shot, so if you hit it in the front, it's not going to hurt it. Oh, let me get my fat fingers out of the way. If you hit it in the rear, yeah, or from the side, they got to be turret hits, but you definitely can take a Bradley out with a 30mm. But that's going to be difficult to do that, especially trying to maneuver around. But that's it. I'll go ahead and erase all that, and then I'll conduct movement. And there might be some more overwatch fire, and that'll be it for turn 8. Folks, we've just conducted the movement, and I'm about ready to do the overwatch, or the reaction fire to the movement. There was a couple of counters, or a couple of guys on each side that had overwatches on them. We have that tow missile, or that fist. He had an overwatch. There was one tank left from that stack that had an overwatch. And I believe that M1 tank right there had an overwatch on it. So we'll go ahead, I'll show you how we moved. So pretty much the only thing left down here are these two BMPs. They both have their squad mounted. And then there's the other squad minus their track that was blown up. So we've got basically kind of like 2/3 of a platoon. And they're going to push, they're probably going to push that way. There's a Ford site right here. Let me move that rubble, that bridge is out. So they can cross right here. And that's one of the reasons why that tank right there decided to hit that Bradley. Let's take out as much as we can over here, because it's going to be hard for a motor rifle platoon to take that by itself. So let's take out as much as we can over here. So that was that reason. This Bradley, he moved out, and now he's going to kind of back this guy up. He figured, hey, there's no threat over here anymore, so I'll go ahead and move out. But then these guys moved up, so you wouldn't have known that. Well, it's kind of like, that's the whole fog of war and the reason things, why the movement and all that's supposed to be hidden. Our bridge, our headquarters section with the bridge layer moved up. Rob's guys moved up. One of them actually managed to get out of the gully. The other one's still in the gully, so this tank is in position to do something next turn. Add a little movement here, so you can see those guys moved up. We got this tank perched up on the hill. That's kind of why he decided to take a shot at him. It's going to be a little bit harder because it is a rising shot. Then we had... the hill no longer belongs to Ryan's guys. All right, that's firmly in the Russian hands, the Soviet hands. So we've got that going on there. This tank from Ryan's platoon decided to back down off the hill. So we're forming a little bit, trying to form a strong point right there. And that's it. Oh, almost forgot. These guys moved out. Remember how they moved back a couple of turns ago, or a turn ago? They moved back behind the buildings. Now they're going to pop back out. That's part of one of the techniques in armored warfare, right? Is to move out, take a shot, and then move back. Move out, take a shot, and then move back. So that's kind of what they're doing right there. Let's resolve some of this opportunity fire. So we'll go ahead and do this one here. Let me see. Is it going to matter what the order is? No, the order, it doesn't matter what the order is because nobody's shooting at each other. So it doesn't really matter. I think, let me see. The Soviets got to move first. So the NATO guys, the American guys would get to shoot first in opportunity fire. But it doesn't matter what the outcomes are. It's not going to affect anything because nobody's shooting at each other. They're all shooting at something different. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we got a 63% chance. Oh, let me go over and get my dice that are on the other side of the table. That's the way it always is. So we have a 63% chance to hit that T-72. And we got a 63 exactly. Let's hope I did my calculations right. I'm not going to go back and double check it. So 63% chance hit that on the nose. That is going to be a rising shot front. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get them because the armor on the front of the tanks is better. Plus those tanks have the ERA. So let's see. We got a 4 and a 7. So a front shot 4, that's a turret front. And then the 7 would be, let's see, we're using the toe. The 7 would be a brew up result. Now, we have to figure out if the shot penetrates. Penetration value for the toe is 180. Turret front rise is a, let's see if we can get that there. Turret front rise is a 106. But if you also look, the turret front has both that armor and that armor. So 106 times 1.5. We'll have to do that down to 100 because it doesn't have, the table doesn't have a 106. So 100 times 1.5 is 150. So the shot would penetrate. But now we take that same 150 and we do the explosive reactive armor, which is a 230. So that, as long as the reactive armor is effective, then that 230 is enough to stop that round. So, because remember, the penetration value for the TOW missile is a 180. So if we roll, where's the die? Where's the Soviet dice? I have both. There we go. I have American and Soviet dice. The Soviets are the reds, obviously. So if we roll a 7 or less, then the reactive armor is effective. And that is a 10. The reactive armor is not effective. And what did we roll? We rolled a 7. So a 7 on a TOW missile is a brew up result. So that tank is toast. I know it's a lot. There's a lot involved in trying to kill somebody or trying to shoot somebody. So that, I believe, yeah, that belonged to pink. So the pink platoon has now, I'll show the losses here in a minute, but the pink tank platoon, because those are the only cubes I had, the pink tank platoon has now been completely destroyed. There's only 3 tanks in a Soviet tank platoon, and they are all gone. So that's definitely going to hurt. Rob's guys are doing pretty good, though. So let's see, what else did we have? We've got, so that was this guy. Let's go ahead and do this tank here, firing at, a side shot on that Bradley. That's not going to, probably not going to end, if it hits, it's not going to end well for that Bradley. 35% chance. Yeah, 35%. And we rolled an 82, so that is a miss. And then the last one we have over here is this tank here. Oops. This tank here is going to fire at that BMP. It's a point blank shot, 72% chance. It is a rising shot, but BMPs don't have very good armor, so yeah, they have their max armor on any location is an 8, and that M1 has a penetration value of 6-7 times more than that. So as long as we get our 72 or better, then, or 72 or lower. So that's a 60, so that BMP is destroyed. All we really need to do, actually, yeah, all we really need to do is determine the, because we could get a track hit. We just have to determine the AP damage. So that's a 6. That's a knockout. So that tank is destroyed. Knockout. Let's see here. The crew is automatically killed. And let's see if the passengers... Let's see if the passengers survive. Looks like the passengers, I want to say that, see, one of the things that kind of annoys me about this system is you look like there's a, sometimes you have to roll under and sometimes you have to roll over. There's no consistency in if you need to roll under or over. You know, in my opinion, everything should either be roll under the number or roll over the number. Let's not mix and match. And this is one of the gripes about this game. It's already super rules dense game. And then you get changes, right? So I believe that means if I roll higher than a 21, then the crew, or excuse me, the leg guys inside bail out. So I'm going to say they bail out, and I just really don't feel like looking it up into the rules. But that's one of the things that bothers me about the game is the lack of consistency with roll under or roll over. So, but anyway, so that takes care of the Overwatch fire. It looks like we were successful in 2 cases. Let me go ahead and while I'm thinking about it. That tank was I think he was knocked out, if I'm not mistaken. So, boom, we gotta put that there. We got a knockout with the BMP. And then, who was in that vehicle? All right, number 16. All right, so here is the leg unit that was in that BMP. They survived. They're probably shaken. I'm not going to roll for suppression or anything like that because there's already, I'm ready to have this game kind of be over because I'm already thinking about what I'm going to play next, and just sometimes the technical aspects of this bog down, which is funny. I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily mind the technical aspects of, like, let's say Next War Poland or the Next War series. I think because maybe this is a tactical game and I just get bogged down by the minutia of the tactical game, whereas the Next War series is an operational game, and there's a lot of minutia and technicalities in that game, but it doesn't seem to bother me as much. I think it might be the scale of the game, which maybe bothers me. Maybe I'm just not a tactical type of guy, unless, you know, it was maybe a miniatures game or something like that. But man, there are so many rules in this game, and I'm basically glossing over a lot of stuff. Like, I haven't been doing artillery just because it's just like, ugh, it's just too much. It really, really, really slows the game down. I think the armor penetration and all that I like that. I really think that's interesting. But a lot of the other stuff is just crazy. But anyway, so that takes care of turn 8. And then hopefully we'll get, I don't know if I'll get a turn 9 in today. I think one turn a day is probably about my limit. But anyway, hey, thanks for watching, and continue to watch, and we'll catch you in the next video.